Welcome to Alberta Conservation Association's Harvest Your Own podcast, the resource for everything hunting, navigating through the field, the butcher shop, and the kitchen. Life is all about great food. Let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad Fenson, an avid outdoor enthusiast who has worked as a freelance journalist, photographer, and public speaker for over 3 decades. I have hunted, fished, and foraged all my life and hope to share my passion for the outdoors. Along the way, I want to encourage everyone to harvest wild proteins and enjoy the satisfaction of providing the next meal for your family. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire individuals to get outdoors and create a connection between food, health, and your future meals. Welcome to Harvest Your Own. Today, we are going to talk outdoor education. This isn't just an ordinary class that you have to look online to find and take advantage of. This is one that your school can actually put in the curriculum and have teachers directly involved in outdoor education for a credit for your kids. And today we're talking to Hal Ziprick, and he is from Smoky Lake, Alberta, and he's been very active in outdoor education for years, even in the development of the program. Welcome, Hal.
Welcome. Well, not welcome to you, I guess. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so when did outdoor education start in the schools?
Outdoor education was really big even before I started teaching. I think it was actually bigger in the old days. The teacher I took over from, he did for many years. They actually did just basic archery, basic hunting skills, a little bit of the actual now it's called Wildlife 1070, which is your hunter ed theory. So they had that in junior highs so you could get your hunter ed certification in the old days. But it's kind of evolved way past that now.
Yeah, so give it a little shout out. What school are you at?
I'm at H.A. Kostash School in Smoky Lake, about an hour northeast of Edmonton.
Right, and the kids there, a lot of them are from a rural community. If you're in town, it's still pretty rural, but lots of them are from the farms and acreages and stuff out of doors.
Yeah, when I started, most were like that, and now the way that Alberta is changing, we have students from all over the place. I have students from Africa all the way down to Mexico, lots of new students from Mexico.
Wow. We
have students from everywhere there involved in programs.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Maybe it's because the school is rural, but your school seems to embrace outdoor education. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah. When I started, it was very difficult to get started, but now it's kind of become part of the culture.
Oh, that's good. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the education part of it. I believe the Alberta Hunter Education Instructors Association worked hard to get this as part of the actual school curriculums so there could be a credit course for the kids.
Yeah, there's about 48 modules that are involved, especially at the high school level. And of that, there's quite a few that AHIA has, Alberta Hunter Ed Instructors Association, that actually provide not only credit for the students I can give them, but they actually get actual certifications.
Right. So by taking the courses, you get your Hunter Ed certificate. You don't have to take it online. You don't have to take a separate course at a community hall every Monday night for 8 weeks or something like that. It's done in school.
Yep, it's right in the classroom.
Yeah. And how many kids do you normally get?
For the Hunter Ed, every year it's getting younger and younger. So as I find that it's younger, there's more involved. So last year, my Hunter Ed course, I think I had 38 that took it, so it was pretty full.
Yeah, that's a very full classroom.
Yeah, and it made for a fun range day, let me tell you.
I bet. Now, any other teachers involved in the hunter education?
In our school, no. I'm trying to get into the end of my career, so I'm trying to train a couple new ones in the hope that they will take over and continue the program.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Let's tell the listeners more about it. Like, not every school has hunter education or outdoor education.
Yeah, there's some will have the traditional, a little bit of the hunter ed stuff for their kids and some of the basics like fishing ed, but very few go to the extent that we do.
Right. So it's an option for your school. They can have outdoor education and make it a credit course, and you can have it for kids through junior high and high school.
Yeah, so junior high level, I have kind of a discovery. So it's more of a discovery where you get to try a little bit of things. I take them fishing for a day. Then they can take, if they want, they can start the fishing ed program. But a lot of the junior high level is just learning those basic skills on how to plan a trip, a little bit of what do you do when you go outdoors, how do you put up a lean-to, little things like that, which leads to them either want to continue all the way into high school or they move on to other things.
So it's actually a course that they can continue to take year after year and get credits through junior high and high school?
They don't get credit at the junior high level.
Okay.
They have to wait till high school level to earn high school credits, but they get that background knowledge that they need to continue to actually move on once they hit high school.
Right. How many of them come from an outdoorsy type of family?
Well, at the beginning, I say most. So I've been doing this now for, I think it's 25 years. At the beginning, that's who mostly took it. But now I find the opposite, actually. Those ones that do have the people that take them out hunting and fishing don't usually take the course as much as the ones that are just really excited about it and want to learn a lot about it.
Interesting. It's when you look at the dynamics of it within the community, to influence more people positively about hunting, whether they become hunters or not, or anglers, has to be a benefit for everyone.
Well, it definitely is in our community for sure. Not only our community, it ripples from there too.
Right. Because
then all these other schools here, with my niece, my nephew, my cousins, they get to do this at Smoky Lake. I wish I had that in my school.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to interview you, is if someone's listening and they're like, man, how come we don't have outdoor education in our school? I'd love my kids to take that in junior high and high school. How would a school go about getting involved?
Well, to get involved to start with, the big thing is probably get a hold of Alberta Hunter Ed. And then I know I do spend a lot of time answering emails, phone calls. How do I get this into my school? It's not easy. It was a very steep learning curve, and it faced a lot of roadblocks, especially at the beginning. But once they see the value of it in your community, it definitely helps.
And where were the roadblocks? What are they? Or were they?
Still legal issues,
Okay.
The liability, all that kind of stuff of doing things that are taboo basically now. Kids with guns, things like that. So those are the difficult things to get over.
Yeah. How many other schools are you aware of that are doing this? Is it like common enough that you know there's dozens of them, or is there only a handful in Alberta?
At the level I do, I think I'm the only one.
Really?
But other than that, there's some that do quite a few little things. It's starting to definitely gain traction again. There's schools wanting to take it on again. There's schools wanting to get back into it. But for a long time, there's almost it, even in our own school, it was so hard to keep it going. At one stage, I was even ready to quit it.
But the kids want the course.
Oh, the kids have always wanted the course. When they get to try and they get to go outside, whether it be just build a quick little lean-to in the rain when I make them do it in the rain, or just get out there and learn how to build a fire. The kids love that thing. And
it's lots of outdoor skills. This isn't just hunter education and hunting and fishing. This is everything outdoors.
And social skills.
Okay.
Like these trips, they get to learn how to interact with each other. They get to learn what happens when one person, same as in our hunting camp, you always have that one person that doesn't want to do any of the work, but wants all the benefit of it. It's no different. You have those students that just want to do it, not put in the work to help out.
Well, I think that's a part of everything we do in life. It's not just hunting or fishing or outdoor education or outdoor pursuits. I'm sure all of us have had a career where we've had somebody that didn't carry their weight, and I guess the course helps you prepare to deal with the different people in life as we move on. Yeah, especially the higher levels. Yeah. Let's dive into some of the meat and potatoes of it. Within this course, of course, there's the certifications through AHIA, which are hunter education, fishing education, and the boaters course. Is it the three? Yeah, there's boaters course. There's the IBEP, which is International Bow Hunter Education Program. Yeah, so it's all the big ones that they have. And they're certified in all of them if they take this course right through school? If they get through to the end with me, yeah, they will. Most of them, well, some don't select certain ones. Like not everybody selects the bow hunter one. But as far as fishing ed and hunting ed, most take that with me by the time they're done. Yep. And how does it influence them? Does it create a love for the outdoors, or most people just after the credit thinking it's an easy course? I think at one time that's what it was, but now they know Mr. Ziprick's a hard teacher and he makes us work, but they still doesn't scare them away. So they're still coming back and they're actually working through those modules, because I start them with paper modules to try and weed through who actually wants to continue to the big trips. So you know that the ones that are there are interested in there. And are they diligent? Do they work hard enough that they get to that goal of being on a big trip with the school, with Mr. Ziprick, and doing something that is, probably a dream for even most adults, let alone a student somewhere? Yeah, those trips are a big carrot, which makes it a lot easier for them to chase after.
This podcast is produced for Harvest Your Own, a program dedicated to those who want to reconnect with food and health through their experiences outdoors. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a resource for individuals to learn more about hunting and the outdoors. There's information to get you started and ensure that your compass stays pointed in the right direction to be successful. Where's your next meal coming from?
Let's go through some of the trips just so people understand. Tell us about these carrots you've developed.
Well, in junior high, we go usually ice fishing for a day, where we've had up to, because I will combine with all of Aspen View, where some days we've had up to 300 kids out on the ice.
Whoa.
And with us, and then we go additional days where we get to go do a bunch of ice fishing. And then they move up through that. So then at the junior high level, they can take the mentorship hunt also, which I take out every year, usually about a dozen kids. We go hunting somewhere.
For?
Usually it's deer hunt, but we've done the odd migratory one. And a couple of years I did bear hunts with certain kids. And then all the way up to junior high, grade 10 is traditionally become the Jackson Lake trip, where we hike into Lakeland Provincial Park and we spend a week in there fishing.
Week?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
usually 6 days, somewhere on there. And we go fishing for the trip and learn about a bunch of different things about being in a park, how to walk, how to pack, when you have to hike in. This last week I was in there, and some of the kids realized that they can't carry their hockey bags on their head for 4 miles.
Right.
And once you get to the grade 11 trip, we've kind of swung that one around a little bit. We started spending time on the ice, winter camping now. So we've been going to Sylvan the last couple of years. And then the big carrot is in grade 12, you get to go on a fly-in fishing trip to Namier Lake.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yeah. Let's dive into a little bit more detail. So you take the kids out when they're young, you got 300 of them on the ice. Obviously, the first thing you do in this classroom is teach them the basics. Do they know how to tie a knot and attach a leader or a hook and do all of the basics?
Yeah, I go through all the tying the hooks, which still some of them don't do that extra little loop through.
I know some adults like that.
Yeah. And then you lose the hooks. You lose a lot of hooks.
Wow.
So we moved from that. And then I bring in sometimes the Edmonton Fly Tire Society. They'll come in and tie flies with the kids. And I also teach fly tying to students. And it moves from that. And I just even basically stand on a desk sometime to show them that the top of the table is ice. And this is how you set your depth for perch. So we start with the very basic skills and how to stay dry in the winter, different things like that.
Warm.
Dry and warm.
And prepare for adversity.
Yep, and they learn that cotton is not your best friend in the winter.
Well, I guess that's a big part of Outdoor Edge is learning how to dress properly, right? Dress for success.
It's a huge thing, yep. And then I find that they come back after when they're doing chores sometimes because they always used to get cold feet. They're like, Mr. Ziprick, what you taught us was perfect. I don't get cold feet anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so
there's lots of rewards in it for the teachers as well.
Yeah, if there wasn't, I wouldn't do this for 25 years.
So the fishing trip sounds wonderful, whether it's a day on the ice with 300 students or a week in Lakeland Provincial Park. That's pretty substantial. That's more than fishing.
Yeah, we do all kinds of different activities in there too. A lot of it's learning how to cook, how to make a bed of coals. So you can actually cook a steak that's not burnt to a crisp in 5 minutes over a fire that's too hot. So there's all those other basic skills they learn.
Yep. So beyond the fishing, they're learning all of the basics of outdoors, how to pack in their stuff, starting with planning. I'm sure there's a lot of planning involved, and you're not going to do it for them.
Well, so I start that planning part already in junior high. So we do little bits like how to plan a menu, just the basics. How many hot dogs would you need for a group this size? And then when I get to grade 10 already for the grade 10 trip, it starts to be a little bit more independent. But by the time I hit the grade 12 trip, they're responsible for planning about 90% of that trip.
So when you were into Lakeland Park, how many students did you have?
This time I had 14.
14. And how did they do with their planning and learning? Did they excel and have an incredible week out there, or did some of them falter a little bit?
Oh, this is one of the best groups I've had in a long time. I had some exceptional girls there that, man, they took care of camp and the planning. But then one of the guys, he took on the role of coffee maker.
Oh, wow.
So he prepped all the pots the night before, and he took all the supervisors' cups. He'd get up at 5 a.m, make the coffee, and then every morning when we got out of the tent, there's our coffee waiting for us.
Wow. That's looking for an increase in the mark, I think.
I think so. He may have got one too.
Now, are any of the meal plans and stuff, do they involve foraging or catching your own fish or doing your own thing?
Yeah, it started with just one meal of fish, the plan, but we ate fish every single day we were in there.
Wow. So the fishing education and the components within the course to learn how to fish actually taught them how to catch fish.
Yep. Not so much how to clean the fish, because once we were there, I showed them how to clean fish. I still take on that role sometimes. I show them how, but we don't like to eat too many bones because I don't want to turn them off fish on those trips. But they learn the basics on how to clean fish and watching and helping out. But they do all the cooking of it.
And the catching.
Yeah, and the catching. That's the important part.
Well, and it's interesting because they don't all come from angling families.
No, lots don't.
And, let's be honest. Like, I've gone to fish and game events and at the sportsman shows, I'd say 10% of the anglers know what they're doing, and the other ones hope to catch up. But the majority of them aren't really good anglers. They couldn't plan for a week and trust that they'd catch fish to eat.
I couldn't believe this group. There's 14 of them. And being from Smoky Lake, other than some of them went ice fishing with me, but some years it's good, some years it's not. I couldn't believe out of the 14, 7 of them have never caught fish in Smoky Lake. It's just families that don't fish. So their first fish was their biggest fish. They just were enjoying the whole thing.
And where's the influence go from there? Do they go back and do they tell their families and ever get them interested in fishing?
Quite a few. I know it's definitely some of the newer families that moved in from urban areas for sure. They realize that, hey, this is kind of fun. And they actually go out. And we have 2 lakes right by us. They're stocked lakes. So that's usually where I tell them to start, because you have a good chance to catch a fish there. You can fish from shore. You don't need a boat. You can do it for very cheap. If they need, I loan them gear. I'll loan them some cheap rods I've got from the sportsman show or something. And
get starter gear.
Yep, and away they go.
Yeah, and that's the key, is to have the motivation or ambition to get out there. And, influencing kids has such a ripple effect in families and communities.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So I think it's great that those are there. And I really would encourage other people, if you have kids in school and you want to see these types of program, talk to a HIA. Talk to your school principal and see if there's some educators within the system, within your school, that would be willing to help take this on. Now, AHIA actually puts on workshops to help train teachers that want to do this.
Yes, it used to be every second summer, but I believe they do it every summer now. So I've helped out a few times at those in the old days.
Yeah, well, I think it's an important message, because if people are listening and they're like, wow, I'm going to get proactive, I'm going to go in and talk to my school, I'm going to try to get something involved, we want to get our kids in this, we see the benefits, having that outdoor education and knowing how to do things, how to be self-reliant, maybe having my kids get up to make me coffee in the morning one time.
I wish mine would do that.
Right. Anyways, those people that have are listening to this and have some motivation to get out there and do it, it's really not that hard. You need to make your principal aware of it, basically make an introduction to AHIA. You can call them or get a hold of them online ahead of time to get all the information. There's workshops for the teachers to get trained up for this, and off they run. Now, you were saying there's a lot of different modules that you can dive into within this program.
Well, the teacher workshop, first of all, is a perfect one, because anybody that attends that teacher workshop, they get certified in teaching the fishing ed, hunting ed, NASP, which is the National Archery in Schools program. They obtain their certification to actually teach those courses. So it helps when they go back to their schools. Yeah,
and you're like the lone wolf. You're the only teacher that teaches it at Caustic.
Yeah, I'm the only one still at H.A. Costach. Yep.
Costach. So it would be beneficial if there was someone else or a second teacher there.
Oh, I'm working on that.
Right, but I'm gearing up to, if people were interested in doing this in their own schools, to find some teachers interested and to get people certified and get them ready for all these different courses for delivery. You could do it in partnership with a couple of people. It doesn't have to be a single person taking on the entire load.
Oh, yeah. And especially as parents, you have a big say in what happens in schools. If you push for it and you ask for it, it's amazing. Schools will usually be receptive to it at some level to start. So then you need to find that first little thing that's safe to start with, like a one-day ice fishing trip or something like that. And you build it from there. So finding those community, even in our community, I use a lot of Fish and Wildlife officers, RCMP officers, different ones, or basically anybody they'll find to help out. And yeah, once you have those allies, I guess, in the community, it makes it a lot easier to start a program.
Yeah, a friend of mine taught for years. He's retired now, but Pat Harris was in our Drawson, and he had an outdoor ed program where he did the same thing. Took the kids out on real life experience, had them in the classroom and had them really excel at things. It's not like teaching other core subjects. It seems like the kids really have a keen interest in this.
Yeah, that level, there's still quite a few schools that are doing that. I know who you're talking about with Pat there.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few, like down certain pockets, like down by Hannah, different ones, where, yeah, they're still doing amazing things. And some are taking them Alfred Lake to go out for the wilderness survival and different things. So it's still there. People just have to push to keep it going.
Yeah, and I hope this does encourage people to do that because, like I said, if we can influence kids in our entire society and the messages they take home to their parents about the outdoors in general, about conservation, about hunting, about what it really is, these activities, once you understand it with a hands-on experience, it's different. Like, how many kids actually sign up that aren't hunters? You said it's the majority now. I
would say it's well over 50% now.
Right. And they go home and they change opinions.
Yep. They didn't. Well, I have some that actually, I have one girl in grade 8, can't mention names, but
yep.
She has bucked me the whole, she's like, how could you kill that poor fish and eat it? And different things. Now she's actually went and caught a fish, and she's actually tried fish. Now she's actually going fishing pretty much every night that she has a chance.
Wow.
And that's becoming more and more frequent. I'm seeing the people that don't understand and don't know are the ones that get hooked the best.
Interesting. Knowledge is power.
Yep, exactly.
This podcast was made possible by Alberta Conservation Association and the Harvest Your Own community. If you're interested in harvesting your own food, there's a comprehensive collection of information to gain insight and knowledge. Head to the field, harvest your own protein, prepare it, and taste the results. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a library of information from getting started and geared up to processing, butchering, and cooking wild game to make the connection between health and food.
What other modules? How many did you say? Over 40?
I think there's 48 high school modules that they can select and choose from.
Wow. So give us some examples, please.
Oh, there's all kinds of different ones. So if you're not the type that likes to hunt, there's still ones like Wildlife and Society. There's Wildlife Stewardship. There's Intro to Wildlife, where you can learn about just different species. There's ones that if you're looking at taking sciences after school, the wildlife research one, where I actually do field studies with them. I've done everything from the number of spots on a ladybird beetle to the growth rate in northern pike. We'll do different studies and we try different things, or nesting boxes for the stewardship. There's those modules that are there also that are not for the one that necessarily hunts.
Creating tomorrow's biologists.
Exactly.
Yeah, and ecologists.
Yep, we need more of those.
Right. Interesting. So again, big benefits and more opportunity for your kids, not just a small amount of curricular options, but things that could lead to some pretty rewarding careers and more time in the outdoors.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about some of them. I have 2 girls that just got selected from our school I can't remember how many applied in Alberta. It's called Wonder Wardens. It's to try and find female officers.
Yes.
So 2 of our girls are going to be spending, I think it's a week or 10 days or something this summer to actually go and learn how to become a fish and wildlife officer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are the biggest rewards for you? So that other teachers out there listening, like, oh man, I'm so hectic. It's crazy. We got all these things. We're marking tests. We're doing stuff. We know the teachers are overwhelmed with work, with big class loads and all the rest. Why would they want to do something else?
Well, it's not that hard fishing and getting paid for it. So it's about as close to a tournament angler or professional angler you can get. But I don't want my admin to hear that. But just seeing those smiles, those genuine smiles for the first fish they've ever caught in their life, or when something funny happens out there. And just this time, as the pelicans were so calm and they're swimming through us, and just that look of smiling joy on those kids' face, that nature is so beautiful. And
they get to experience it at an arm's length.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, I've helped you a little bit with your courses. Back in the COVID days, you were locked at home and on video, and you had me come into a couple of different classes. And I was very intrigued by the quality questions that your kids had. Yeah,
they definitely, it's always excellent to bring somebody from outside, because sometimes they don't hear everything Mr. Ziprick says. But when you bring those people in, they get to see, like I remember the one we did outdoor cooking. And we talked about one of the sessions, just what you can do, how you prepare your game. And those kids were just listening from start to finish. And then after we actually cook, they're like, oh, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah, put 2 and 2 together and have a great meal.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty special. Now, you don't just do outdoor education, hunter ed, all the rest of it, but other programs the schools can pick up in Alberta are, as you mentioned, the NASP program, the Archery in Schools, National Archery in Schools program, NASP.
Yep.
And you've done very well with that, too.
Well, been very lucky. I was one of the first pilot schools, and I've been doing it for many years. Yeah, we've actually been very successful, and I'm also the Canadian coach that's getting to take a great big crew again this year to Africa, which is kind of cool to say in 2023, we were the ones that won the championship over there in Africa.
Wow.
So there's been those moments, but yeah, right from the beginning where I had, I think, 3/4 of my school involved in the program to now I think where I have 300 students, we have about 130 still participating. But the friendships they make, it's kind of weird. Once they get to that grade 12 level, they're more like family than they are friends.
Well, I've written a few news articles about your school, too, because your kids often win the provincials and do with very high scores. Like they're very proficient archers. Yeah,
we're very lucky. I think of the 16 that I'm taking to Africa, I think 9 of them are from our school this year. They work very hard at archery. I think we've won nationals last, 15 years or something like that. It's getting harder. We won by 5 this year, but it's not even that. It's just seeing how hard those students are willing to work for something. And they're the ones that don't have a great family life sometimes at home, don't do things outdoors. And these are the ones that are leading now and leaving, and they're wanting to get into bow hunting. I just ran into one at an archery shop the other day who I'd never expected to be there. She's in university. That's where she spends every day after university, is at the archery shop now.
Wow. The influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned something that's really important. Not every family has opportunities to do these things, but when they do it through the schools, it is a pastime, a hobby, a passion that they can pick up and participate in. Is it daily that they can shoot? Yeah,
pretty much. If you want, it's daily. Like we have set practices we have in the school, like we actually have an archery option. But probably the best thing about it is watching that anybody can do that NASP archery. I've had people in wheelchairs. I've had people that can't use one arm using a mouth tab. I had the privilege, I guess, to coach an archer in 2023 from Metaskwan that she's legally blind. So she has assisted helping. I have seen everything in that program. I had a student 1 year that had Tourette's that couldn't stop flapping, but as soon as he hears that whistle, just calm.
Straight focus.
And they're students that have no home life at all, some of them, and they come there, and it's their family, it's their friends that they get to see. They just love every minute that they're at archery practice.
Boy, that makes it pretty special.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's lots of rewards in that, but to know that we can create something uplifting for our kids that don't often get an opportunity is huge nowadays. And should not be overlooked. And archery should not be overlooked. I mean, you don't have to be a hunter to enjoy archery. I started my girls when they were less than 2 years old. We had little recurves. They were shooting here. They still love to go out and shoot them. The participation is there. Hand-eye coordination is incredible. I'd rather have them learn that from archery than playing another video game.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But they could go on even to be an Olympic competitor.
Well, actually, that's what's new this year. Actually, it's one of the universities in, I think, St. Louis actually sent a letter to our school trying to draft archers for their university archery program.
Wow.
Which, because they know, I've grown up coaching I like to say growing up because I have when I started this. I was only 20 years old. But down in the States, some of these different schools, I've coached against these archers, and the program we've developed has become bigger and bigger. And it's nice to see those programs actually looking at Canada now.
Interesting. Now, I've met a lot of people in the States that go to university, and some of them actually take credit courses in fishing where they have to go out and develop techniques to catch different species, whether it's catfish or brim or these different things. To hear that they actually have an archery program where they could recruit Alberta students is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that letter.
Now, give us just do you know the numbers? How many kids in Alberta participate in NASP or nationally?
The last I remember is we have 38,000 in Alberta.
That's awesome, too.
38,000 archers. I think it's something like 600 schools now in Alberta are part of the program. It kind of varies. Saskatchewan and Alberta are two big ones. So Saskatchewan bounces around that 18,000. And then every so often the other provinces kick in. I had one archer in 2016 that I took to Africa that she's from Nova Scotia. So different provinces bounce around a little bit, but Alberta and Saskatchewan are the two big ones.
Yeah. Well, all I can say, Hal, is I'm glad that we have teachers out there like yourself that can, go the extra mile to have input in developing these courses and the different curriculum available, stepping up to spend the time to teach these kids. I mean, it's always been a life passion of yours, but did you ever think you'd get to share it like in this way?
No. Actually, when I started at that school, I actually was the shop teacher for a while with elementary specialist training.
Yeah, there you go.
So when I started, and just timing, like at that time, the teacher that was in forever, he decided to retire, and I took over his little hunter ed program and built into what I want to be. Even when I got to work for Alberta Ed there, I went with the attitude that I want everything I want.
Yeah, there you go.
And all the modules I want, we developed. So it was really good.
That's sweet. Now, I do know your predecessor, and it's a hard number to guess, but between the two of you, how many graduates do you think you've had in Hunter Ed?
Oh, I couldn't even guess.
It's in the thousands.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's profound for a community the size of Smoky Lake. And you can't fail to recognize your administrators. Thank goodness we have some in Alberta that say, it's worth the risk. We're going to do this. We see value in it. We see the value for the kids. What they have to look forward to, whether it leads to a new career, a new passion, something to take home to share for family values. There's so many different ways that this can become a reward that it's hard to overlook.
Well, yeah, and that's where the community becomes so important, because haven't those had the administration support. Certain ones have come and gone that some support, some don't. But when you have a community that supports it, it's a lot harder for an administrator to say, hey, no, we're going to close that program.
Yeah. So let's throw out a challenge. How many people out there want to go to their school and see if they can develop an outdoor education course? The curriculum is already there. There's already all of the programs to get the teachers ready to teach it and certify them to be instructors. And then the students actually get proper certification in everything as well. They actually get their Hunter Ed certificate, their fishing ed, their boating license, and all the things that you require to do things outdoors legally.
Yep, exactly. And I'm more than willing to help a lot of those teachers that have those questions. So yeah, reach out to HIA and make sure you get that conversation started, and there'll be someone that can help you.
Well, thanks, Al. I mean, I think that's a big offer, and I hope that you're swamped with requests.
Yeah, always am, but always fine. I might not email you back right away or text you back, as you know, Brad, but it sometimes takes a day or two, but yeah. I'll always get you in touch with the right person.
Well, thanks for doing what you do. We're glad that there's people in Alberta that stand up for the outdoors, make it a priority, share their passion with, the smaller members of our community that are someday going to be our leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we hope that this continues.
Yeah. So thanks very much. And let's hope that other people find a way to get outdoor education into their curriculum.
Thank you for having me.
We hope to inspire people to reconnect with nature and appreciate where your food comes from by harvesting your own. For more information on getting started or to learn specifics about the Field to Fork experience, visit harvestyourown.ca and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Check back often for new material, recipes, and videos that are posted regularly. Please subscribe to Harvest Your Own podcast and take the time to rate and review the show to help us build a dedicated core of passionate hunters as our regular audience. Until next time, embrace the outdoors and all it has to offer. Thanks for joining us.